What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, bringing you another knife, another Frost cutlery knife. This guy right here is the Maverick. Oh yeah. How cool is that? So the Maverick is $12 freaking for this Bowie, a 13-inch, 8.5-inch blade Bowie, or no, 8-inch blade. Sorry, 8-inch blade Bowie. It's 13 and a half, I want to say overall, or 13 overall. Right, it's made in China. Frost cutlery, the Maverick. For $12, how do you keep the cost down? Part of it is use a really crappy nylon sheath. Now, take a look at this blade, right? It's kind of pretty. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kind of a pretty blade. It's attractive. But here's the thing. Look at that. What do we notice? They put a fuller on one side. One side. They put a fuller on just one side. Why? I mean, either leave it like this and let it be pretty as it sits, or do a fuller on both sides and give it that cool look right there. Don't just do that. All right, so anyway, the handle is a 3-piece construction. It's really a 2-piece construction with a filler, but it's 2 different woods, and I have to say that the woods are good looking, right? It's a nice looking handle. I'm assuming that right here is where the tang stops, and the tang appears to be maybe a 1/2 inch somewhere in there. And it's not bad. It's a fairly comfortable grip. It's not bad at all. But it's a little slick. It's like if I took some 800 grit and gave this a little roughing, then I think it would be better. Now here's the thing. For a Bowie, right? This is a Bowie with such good size, you'd think that the weight, you'd think that the weight would be a little better in the front. So when talking about a fighting knife, because all Bowies are fighting knives, however, this one gives me more of a camp knife feel, and mainly because of the weight distribution. I'd want a heavier blade in front with a fighting knife because you want that forward swing. You want to get that momentum. Recovery's going to come back nicer. This one, it almost gets lost, right? So, I mean, it is what it is. The edge, I haven't tested it yet, but let's see if we can remove some hair. And, well, a little. It's, I mean, can I designate it as shave sharp if I'm just, let me see. I'm getting more dander than anything. But, yeah, it's sharp. It has moved a few hairs, but not much. So, I mean, can I call it shave sharp out of the box? No. I haven't touched this edge yet. I haven't done anything. The only thing I've actually done with this knife is handled it a little bit. I haven't really done anything much at all. So here's the thing, fit and finish. I don't know if we can get it in there, but you can see how the edges along this spacer aren't great, right? It's not great. However, at the same time, it's not bad. The hand guard. They had a really good idea for the hand guard, and it's actually once in your hand, once in your palm, it's not uncomfortable. It's not bad at all. However, right here, it's like a giant fat screwdriver, and these corners right here are pretty sharp. I hear somebody singing back there or something. So, I mean, you got the nice little Frost cutlery logo. What does it say? It just says Frost. Okay, Frost. Okay, I get it. Frost Cutlery is in Tennessee, right? This is Jim Frost's product. Tennessee is in the United States of America. We can all agree on that, right? So Frost puts their logo right here, Frost USA. That's great, but don't put it on something with China on the back. Made in the USA, kinda. It's a USA company made in China. So to put this and this on the same, literally just on the other side, I don't like that. But that doesn't take away from the actual, you know, the knife and how it's going to use and what we're going to be able to accomplish with it. So let's go get some stuff done. What I'll do is I'll go get dressed. We're getting kind of windy and cold. I just came out of the hot tub a minute ago. So, boom, we're gonna go play some Frost, okay? All right, guys, I'm back in the game. I brought with me some Pringles. Let me pull out this little Frost Cutlery $12 Bowie fighting knife, camp knife, and see if we can't get some chips the old-fashioned way. Oh my God, it cut so sweet, my chips liquefied. Not too bad. All right, so you know, I had this Pringle can sitting around. I figured, why not? Look how clean that is. That is phenomenal. It might not be shaved sharp, but it is Pringle can sharp, and that's saying something. Bet you can't have just one. So, what do I think about the first test? That's a pass. All right, my people. So now it's kind of a lightweight blade, and you know, it's just some kind of stainless steel, not even sure what. So I don't know how sturdy the steel is, and we're gonna find out. Hopefully these pins kind of hang out for a little while. And so far, I hope you guys stay in there. I have you balancing actually in between two of these little wooden pieces right here, and I think you're getting lower and lower as we go and we go. All right, so what I'll do is I'll just I'll put a hand right here on it, and you guys see what we're doing here. And I don't know if I'm damaging the blade because I haven't looked yet, but I know I'm tearing this pallet apart. Let's see. Yeah, this is the one right here. That's right. Yeah, right there. That's the swatting I just took. Now this had a piece on it, but chopping. Let's see that edge, guys. Getting some light where you can actually see it with me, and there is no edge damage. Hey, look at that. Not so bad. Let's keep going. All right, you know that very famous saying, let's rock out with that stump out. Okay, so literally no one says that. All right, so here we have our little stump. Let's do some balance testing here with some drops. Bing! That's not so bad. Now, it's got a false edge, and the tip isn't ultra thin, but it's thin enough where it's a cheap steel, and that makes me think prying too much might be a bad thing, but I will pry a little. And it held up, right? And it held up, so that's not so bad. Let's get a little weight into the drop here. And now, picking it up, it picks up at an angle, and the stump will begin to twist. As I pick this up, it pulls and it puts pressure on the blade. So when I do that, that's prime time for a tip bend. And so far, no knife that I did this with has bent, which is remarkable considering I broke a couple blades and other testing. But let's see, it's a clip point, so literally going backwards, not too hard. That little clip point, because it's got that nice curve, is going to drop in there pretty well. I'll tell you what, let's do some kindling, batoning here, because nothing says F you, blade man, like batoning. All right, and kindling is one of those universally important things for all campers, right? Fire is important. So, you know, the best way to test the strength and dexterity of an edge is by doing this, because knife edges weren't built to want to do that. And let's see, we have no warping like we did in that Schrade old timer. We have no apparent dulling, no folds, no marks, no kinks, no freaking nothing. Let's see, I got some, I'm trying to think if I have something I can, yeah, here we go. Here we go. This is what I was looking for, a little stick. All right, so what I want to do is just bring it to a little point. Now, the edge geometry, you have to find, there it is, you have to find the angle, because it's, you know, obviously not all edge geometry is the same on every knife you're going to use. So finding your angle, once you have it, then things like this becomes a little easier. Making little trap spikes, because nothing kills an animal faster than sticking a bunch of these in a hole in the dirt and then covering it loosely, and then that little animal walks by, oh shit, leaves, I didn't know this was leaves, and it falls down, yay. That's how it works. Actually, you know what, I'll still use this for a second. I'm gonna still use this for a second. Even though this is tiny, I want to just pull out some sweet little curls and get that out of the way, because I tell you all the time, the greatness of a knife shouldn't be measured in its ability to feather stick. Its ability to take a beating is how you should measure a knife. So food prep, things like that, chop, 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 goes right through, no problem, not too shabby. So far so good. Let's go cut down some branches. All right, we're here in the pines. Let's see if we can't just shave some of this stuff down. And when I say can we, of course we can. And it's actually doing a pretty easy job. I hope the light is working for you guys. We have some overcast, so it's not the best, but it, you know, worst comes to worst, you'll catch all that silhouette, right? So now we're gonna try and just go clean, and clean it is. I mean, just fantastic, right? So hopefully the light is showing you, or you're getting enough light to see that it's actually working here. Just a beautiful job this is doing. I mean, I already showed you that we can shave some stick, but I used a mini. This is a little bit better. So here we are, taking a nice pine tree, making a good spike out of that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, whatever the fuck that means. But so far, $12. I gotta say, guys, if you want a blade that is sharp and can do, you know, all your camp work and things like that, a fighting Bowie as a camp knife works pretty well for me. The shape of this thing is beautiful. I mean, that's a really, really pretty shape. The size is perfect for camp knife size. The handle, while a little slick, is still really comfortable. And for those of you who are, you know, slick handle weary, it does have the lanyard hole, so that helps out. Now this little piece right here, I'm finding out really helps. That's a pretty well made groove right there. Now there's no designated choil, however this little cut right here, that little shape, fits perfect. You can put a thumb on there. If I needed to skin with this, I probably could, and I might even be able to choke way up and do it that way. It's perfect for side grip, for shaving, because it's got such a nice girth to the blade. It's fat this way, which means I have a lot of real estate to put my hands here, and if I'm doing this, you know, you can see that. I hope you can see that. It's just really good. So far for 12 bucks, I have to say that I'm loving the $12 expenditure that that is happening so far. So but I don't know how much I love a knife until I chuck it into something. So let's go chuck it into something. All right, the wind is absolutely picking up, but here we are at Chuck It Into Something Land, USA. And before the wind blows me off of the face of the earth, I'm gonna go ahead and chuck this into something. Thank you, my $12 Frost Cutlery 5-yard throw. That is dead straight. That is, let's see, because I know you guys are in some crazy bad lighting, but here we go. I found you. Check that out. Check that out. Let me get a better. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. That is an absolute perfect throw. That's perfect. I one-timed the shit out of that. Let me pull this out. See if everything's still tight. See if everything's still right. Now it looks to me like the gapping got bigger, maybe. but I'm not feeling anything loose, so it's kind of hard to tell. Let's go get a better look at it. All right, guys, so here we are with the Frost Maverick. I went over everything. I checked it out. Everything's still tight. I think the gapping issue I was noticing was the fact that I looked at it from the other side, and one side's gap appeared to be different than the other side, but one side is still where it was when I first looked, so the gap didn't change. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to wear this the rest of the day. I'm going to carry it around. I'm going to use it for the simpler things. Now, the best way to tell if these handles are going to break off is throwing it and having your throw miss, because slamming a handle sideways into a tree is a really, really great way to just jack that shit up. But I don't practice missing. You know what I mean? You don't try to fail. You try to succeed at everything you do. So when I threw it, and I only threw it that one time, it just happened to be a great throw and it stuck. I'm pretty sure by the construction that if I was to throw this 100 times and miss 10 of those times, one of that 10 might do some kind of damage to where even just loosening a little bit of the handle. And that's saying maybe. It might not. Who knows? That thing could be better constructed than I can tell. But from my experience with knives, and especially with throwing them, I can say that I wouldn't have confidence missing a lot of throws. So if you were going to use this thing as an all-out camp knife and you weren't going to be throwing it into hard objects sideways, then I'll tell you what, this thing might last you forever. It's not bad. The steel isn't great, but what it lacks for in solidity, it makes up for with the ability to rehone an edge. I mean, you can sharpen this thing with whetstones, car windows, or credit cards all day long. It's good for that. And this thing, when you're talking about a camp knife, you're not using it 24/7. You're using it when you need it. You're using it to help cook. You're using it to help, with firewood and fluff, and you're using it for just basic cutting skills. This thing, can you take down a deer with it? Like skin a deer? Of course you can. It's got a sharpened edge and it's a big old blade. Can you fillet a fish with it? Of course you can. There isn't, you like that booger sucking? There isn't too much, camp skills that this thing isn't good for. So I mean, if you're looking for a cheap money knife, if you want to get your kid their first, actual Bowie, but you don't want to spend a bunch of money because you don't know how they're going to take care of it, or you don't know if you're going to lose it or break it. You're not maybe the greatest person to own a knife. Like, you'll do something stupid like throw it into crap and break tips off and not like me. I would never do that kind of stuff. But if you're that kind of person, if you're the kind of person that doesn't want to spend a lot of money for the just in case factor, $12 on eBay, guys. It's the Frost Cutlery Maverick. I'm Donnie B all day, and until next knife.